Good morning. Thanks for joining our webinar. This is Justin Ford, Life Insurance Sales Director with IAMS. And today we're going to be hearing from one of our expert and valued carriers, Brent DeGroot from OneAmerica, in reference to what's new with long-term care, a topic that's been continuing to come up over and over again in an increasing way here on the sales desk, particularly if you're in certain states like Washington. Many of us heard in the last webinar, we discussed some of the changes going on there. Bottom line is the need for long-term care support financially continues to go up. The government knows this, and as a matter of fact, they recognize so much so the impact on the social systems that they're finding ways, like in Washington, to incentivize individuals, or at least that was their attempt, to incentivize individuals to get some form of coverage. So that's why we're going to be going through it today. I can't think of a better panelist to have than Brent with us here in OneAmerica. They've got a lot of great stuff. If you haven't checked them out, reach out to your sales director today after the event, and we'd be happy to do so. So look forward to that. We're going to be going through, we have a diverse audience as always, which is great. I appreciate those of you that have been doing business with us. Some of you are legacy partners doing business with us for over 15 or so or more years, 20 if not longer. I appreciate you attending. So we're going to be covering some items that may be new to you. We're also going to go through a little bit here for those that may be just joining us or taking a look at us for the first time. And if you have any questions, regardless of which camp you fall into, give us a call. We don't bite. Be happy to help, and then go from there. One of the things that we do, if you are new and taking a look at us and joining, or maybe in the process, is we understand the value of our partnership with you and the value of time. Typically in our world, one of the things when we partner up with a new advisor, regardless of the level of trust that may elicit in the beginning, both parties really don't know how everything goes until you try us. And so we get that, and they're for that. Within the first 90 days, first 180 days of our relationship, rather, we're going to be looking at incentivizing you even more to write your first ticket or your first life insurance policy with IAMS, through IAMS, so you can get an experience and really see what you've joined, see in every aspect of our team from submission to commission. With that being said, in addition to your commission, we would like to incentivize you coming on board with writing certain levels of production. So you can see on the list here or on the screen, we have our new producer builders program, and this is a program that in your first 180 days with us gives you the option based on the amount of production that you submit. These are in annuity numbers on the screen. Life numbers would be 10,000 in target premium. That first level says 100. Give or take there, and we've got more details that we can get over to you afterwards. But essentially, during that time period, you submit $10,000 to $100,000, regardless of, or depending on the line of business, and we're going to incentivize you with either a 15,000 piece mailer or 1,500 piece postcard mailing, iPad, cash, or pre-formatted emails, marketing analysis, complete analysis of your marketing plan and the structure of it going forward, and what we call our corporate identity package. So you've got some options to get you jump started. We're also open to customizing this, as we've brought on many people this year, some of which may be on the call today, that already had their marketing going. And so instead we asked the question, how can we best partner and incentivize you, to continue to do what works very well for you? At the end of the day, we'd like you to write ideally more business with us and enjoy that experience so that you feel comfortable doing so. We've got those levels all the way up to $1 million in submitted annuity premium, and this is in addition to your points and credits counting for our trips coming up, etc. So if you have any questions on the new producer builders program, if you're new with IAMS, make sure to speak with your primary contact or reach out to me, Justin Ford, any of the sales directors at IAMS via annuity or life. We'd be happy to get you a copy of the sheet. And if you have interest in it, we want to make sure we put you on that list so that we're helping you with everything that we can to get up to that point. In addition to that, many of you in that same group and those that have been with us for a long time may have helped with this very much so as well. Much like you, our business is based off referrals. The individuals that we're looking for, we're a growing organization, particularly in the life insurance and long-term care and risk management sections. We've made some great changes, brought on a great advanced staff, and with that being said, we're on a mission to build that and have more producers that fit our model and we fit theirs. Um, Somebody who's open to collaboration, et cetera. And many of you have referred people in, but we do have a incentive program when you refer somebody to IMES. And essentially it works like this. The first time they contract, we're going to give you $50. It's a one-time referral bonus when they contract, and that is cash. Second time, the first time that they submit a piece of business, you get $100 cash. There's no time range around this. And in addition to that, it says thousands here, but we're going to pay you a percentage on their business out of our pocket, not theirs, for the life of that business going through us. So as they write business, you're going to get money from IMES based on their growth, and the producer has the same option that you referred to get paid all their new producer bonuses, et cetera. So we also have a marketing reimbursement option as well. If you have an interest in, if you have someone that may be a fit that could benefit from our services, by all means, speak with your primary contact. Let us know. We'll get you set up for this program and take care of getting them set up in the appropriate manner and in the same way that we did with you. Our backup support, once the business comes in, you're going to be able to see one of the things that we take pride in for the years that we've been doing this, the decades we've been doing this, is we pride ourselves on support. Many of you have called in, have asked me, and I'm a little new here coming from another IMO, doing it for 18 years, and I was astonished that we have a 3-ring, now a 2-ring guarantee. When you call on the IMES, you're going to get a live person. You're going to be able to say, hey, I don't mind waiting for John or Justin to call me back, but I do have some questions you may be able to help me with. And each one of us, to include our leadership team, will answer that call and do our best to help you. And that's a big part, does a big part to the support that we offer. But our back office teams, everything from new business all the way through issue, commissions, you've just got to try it. But they are a phenomenal group of people, and the goal here is to make your first and last experience all the way through with IMES to be as phenomenal as you would expect it to be. With that being said, we've also moved into the digital world. So when it comes to submitting applications, we now have a paperless way of doing this. These programs have been enhanced, trialed, and tested. Your business simply goes paid faster. You have less not in good order or NIGOs on your paperwork. Whether you're writing annuity business, you can use Firelight directly from our website. You do need to get registered for Firelight, so let your primary contact on the annuity team or life team know that. We can do that quickly over the phone. And in addition to that, we also, on the life insurance side, use IGO, which makes it very simple. Many of the carriers, almost all of them, are on that unless they have their own proprietary software. But that way you can enter in the information you do for your client the same way regardless of carrier, reduce the NIGOs, get the business issued faster. We're also bringing on, speaking of that, more and more carriers to those programs. This list is even out of date as I speak here as far as companies that are jumping on board with those 2 platforms. Once you come on with IMES and you've been with us for a while, one of the services, and it's tough to mention everything to a client when you first meet with them, when you first have that relationship, as many of you know out there. And one of the challenges with that is just time, and they may not have that need. But we've all had that uncomfortable conversation when someone says, I didn't know you did that. I would have brought that life insurance business to you, or I would have written my disability insurance through you. We know how that is on a retail front. It's the same thing with us from a wholesale standpoint. We want to make sure we constantly bring these items up. You may not have a need for them right now, but just know we've got more items here that may be able to help. So just ask. We have a creative and advertising and promotional team in-house. These are individuals that are on our payroll. Great team. They focus primarily, and the benefit to you, they focus primarily in the insurance, or actually 100% in the insurance financial services field. So they're employees of IMES. They've trained in that area versus an advertising team, promotional team that you may go to locally that works with businesses, everything from the local car dealership all the way to a dry cleaning shop to financial services. One of the big differences there is expertise, as you can imagine. We do custom marketing plans and everything from branding, from the simplest logo design and business card, all the way up through uh, uh, digital media and what they call geofencing. As an example, we had an individual that had a company layoff coming up, and digitally, our marketing team was able to actually set a digital map around their building and areas in which that company, collaborates and meets, and therefore their marketing material from social media, et cetera, had that agent's advertisement on it. So very targeted digital, all the way to the simplest business card. Main difference with using us versus a local advertising team, in addition to that, is many of the local advertising teams, when they create something for you, they view that as their contact or content. As a matter of fact, if you try to leave, a lot of times it's licensed to where that is theirs. And I've seen instances where that local team may share that or use that same learning that they learned from your practice to help another agent in the field. But bottom line, you can't get access to it. We don't do that here. Everything is yours as we create it. Our goal is to have the business that you write as you grow cover the utilization of our marketing team. However, getting jump started, there may be some things, and we have a la carte menu, if you will, where we partner with you on a goal and maybe funding up front and hitting a certain bogey. But at the end of the day, full advertising solutions for you. Make sure to ask your primary contact here if you have any questions, or if you have a project that you're working on. We'd love to be a part of it. We'd love to collaborate with you and earn the business that we do work on the front end here, and get our back office some business to promote or to submit here. Our website, not just an advertising front. On our website, those of you that use it, we're making it actionable. On our site, more than others, you can go on and you can actually, everything from contract with a carrier, run a quote with term insurance, and take the application all in the same location on the website, which makes it really handy. And even go back later, whether you're doing a guaranteed universal life or you're doing a term life quote, and access those quotes that you ran before and even the application. So very simple. Same thing with Firelight in your annuity business. On the annuity side, we have access to a program that will allow you to sort and compare indexed annuities, fixed multi-year guaranteed annuity rates, income planning products, what income benefit rider may turn out the top and the bottom, and why. All this is available to you at no additional cost by having access to our website. Doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. Many of you we partner with directly, collaborate on the cases that you have from a design standpoint, but sometimes you just want to get in there and do it yourself. You're playing with numbers, you know what you want, and we'd be happy to walk you through how to do that to get you comfortable, and then be here if you have questions, etc. It's always accessible. You can also pull all forms. I just pulled a form for one of the companies I work with here this morning, a beneficiary or trust form, but you can access new business and in-force forms right from our website if it happens to be a weekend or we're not open. Links to various industry topics to keep your reading the world concept going. And in addition to that, we also have single premium life and long-term care insurance product grid. So take a look. If you're not registered for the website, it's a really simple process. Let your primary contact know, and we'd be happy to help. When it comes to digital and concepts with clients, we're talking today about the need for long-term care insurance and the benefits of having different plans, and the way the industry has turned towards offering those supporting plans with companies like North America. And when they've gotten creative, companies have gotten outside the box, primarily with OneAmerica. We're excited to be partnering with them. But a lot of times, just like that need, I remember 18 years ago positioning long-term care insurance when everybody said, I don't want to pay for that, I don't think I'll need it, and it's expensive. And now they're grappling, trying to find an individual company or agent that will even offer it. At the time, they may have not understood the full need. And with the complexity of products increasing and the multiple uses of products increasing, oftentimes it's difficult for a client to understand what we're sharing with them. And so we have software programs, point of sale programs, that are meant to better relay a concept or a need to a client than the actual carrier illustration. So they use the company illustration, like the life insurance program we use called Stonewood, to clarify the benefits of paying taxes on the seed the deposits you put in versus the harvest when you take income and distributions later, when you're comparing, as an example, a qualified retirement plan to funding and overfunding index universal life. We also have the software that's being listed here, Retirement Analyzer. Been a longtime partner with these folks and seen a lot of individual clients get more comfortable about their overall retirement picture by looking at this simple to understand report. It allows you to simply take all the income sources a client may have to include Social Security, spousal Social Security, disability, et cetera, and pensions, and put those together with the assets that they have and allow a client to see what their plan today looks like, or their perceived plan, and will it work out or not. And if there's challenges, like maybe they would like to have less riskier assets as they approach retirement, yet 100% of their assets are in something that's established a market risk, they have the ability to make a decision with you to fix that and insert the products that we sell, investment products that you may carry on your side, to create a solution. So here's what your plan looks like today. At the rate you're going, you may run out of income or may run into a challenge with sequence of return risk or a long-term care event, as an example. Here's the impact on your income plan if that were to occur, and here's the solution. We integrate this, we change this around, we reduce the investment risk over here. We insert maybe an annuity to help with sequence of return risk with an increasing income. Maybe we recommend a long-term care policy or the asset care to hedge against that particular risk, and IUL for the issue with taxes and retirement. These are all things that can be done through Retirement Analyzer and provide a client with a better focused picture. So ask our team today if that's something that catches your attention. Ask your primary contact at IMS. We'd be happy to go through it. When it comes to looking at a client's complete plan, whether you're out there with your Series 65 as an investment advisory rep, investment advisor, looking for a new home to place that. I know I've heard a lot of conversations about folks that may have gone registered investment advisor directly on their own, and they prefer now not to deal with the compliance complexities of that, and are looking for a insurance-friendly firm to be a part of underneath an RIA. We do have a corporate wealth management division, IMS Wealth Management, and we are very open to also new individuals. If you're looking at looking to get your 65 and looking at having a better view and access and ability to help a client with their complete wealth picture and pick up significant increased revenue for doing so, if that's something of interest, Duncan and the team here at IMS Wealth Management can take you from the beginning all the way through helping you get the right books, the testing period, open your U10 window. We've got you covered. So give us a call if you have any questions on that as well. And if you're even considering it, speak with your primary contact at IMS, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have and get you a consultation with our wealth management division as well. So the fun stuff. So once we get business done for the year, we've been in the middle of a pandemic. There were some times with carrier trips and incentives. We've all been impacted by that. The ability to spend time speaking with like-minded other individuals, producers in the field that are doing the same thing that you may be doing, but just differently, how they run their practice, at the same time in a relaxing environment with your spouse. As an example, maybe you're in Sorrento or Capri, Italy, Sicily, etc. That's what these trips are all about. So they're very important. It's not just a dime a dozen. One of the things we do different with our trip coming up is we do not, like other IMOs, have a 12-month qualification period. Your qualification, or the qualification period on this trip, is actually 18 months. So it can give some of those new onboarders that are coming on board with us an opportunity to pick up credits for that as well. So if you have any questions, the qualification period will start at December 1st of 2020, and we're going to end it through paid production June 30th of 2022. And if you have a question about where your point value is, if you haven't received a letter, or if you would like to participate in this or want to know more, ask your primary contact, your marketer, your development director, or myself here at IMS. And we appreciate your business and look forward to having some fun here coming up on that trip as well. We've also opened up our learning academies, our life and annuity academies, which we've been doing for years. We've had some changes to those, and we're planning on having more and more as we go, just trying to navigate the the pandemic, if you will, and logistics, et cetera. But it's not stopping us. This is important. Wisdom of the crowd, getting ideas going together is a crucial part of this business. And I personally believe in that, and I understand IAMS and the rest of the team does as well. So we will continue to do this, and we'll fight through what we need to get some dates coming up soon. So if you have an interest in coming to a training, whether you know the date or not, let your primary contact know, and we'll keep you up to date as to this future schedule of that as well. We are on Facebook and LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with us. We're also on YouTube. These webinars will be recorded. This webinar will probably be on YouTube before I go to lunch today. Every webinar that we do on a regular basis is out there. It's a great resource. If you haven't added yourself to and joined our YouTube site, please do so. And with that being said, let's do a little long-term care. I'm going to introduce our presenter and speaker today, Mr. Brent DeGroot, and we're going to have him go, and then at the end we'll have some polling questions as always and get things going. So give me 1 second here.
Well, thank you, Justin. As you're switching the screens here, giving me access, I will just say thank you and welcome to everybody as well. Thank you for having me on the platform today.
You are most welcome, as always. Appreciate your partnership as well, and I think we're cooking here.
I just got to switch this. Sorry. There we go. All right. So welcome, everyone. Let's go through. We're going to a little bit be drinking from a fire hose today. So, but I'm going to simplify it very concisely here at the end as well. But just wanted to give you an overview of the care solutions options that we have here for helping your clients prepare for any long-term care issues in their future. So first and foremost, I have to give compliance their day in the sun. So at this point, I think they've had long enough. So let's keep moving on. So when you think about long-term care planning, many times people think of it in two specific buckets, either the traditional long-term care realm or insurance solutions, which I spent just about 18 years of my 20-year career in long-term care. I guess it was more like 17. So the traditional based, I'll never bash it because it has its place and time. But then there's also an asset-based solution as well. And a slogan that we've really come to live by here at OneAmerica is live, die, or quit. Your clients are going to get something for the premium dollars that they put into these solutions to protect them from a long-term care event. So the traditional side was the very use it or lose it. It was a large objection that was out there, but obviously moving to an asset-based solution, they're always going to have something for whatever premium dollars they put into the plan. So we also have two different types, and I'll call them base policies, if you will. There's a life insurance-based chassis and an annuity-based chassis. Our life insurance-based chassis is called Asset Care. It's about 70% of our business here at OneAmerica. And then the other 30% is on our annuity care solutions. And I'm going to go through those very quickly here today as well. Probably the largest objection that we have run into when planning for any long-term care events or protecting the portfolio, protecting the family from a long-term care event is the concept of self-funding. People just believe, you know what, I don't think it's ever going to happen to me, so I'm just going to self-fund this risk. Well, there is some troubles that happen when they just go down that avenue. And to show you that, I just want to show you a very well-balanced portfolio here, and let's just start to look at maybe what a year of care cost may be. So let's just say it's a married couple, then one spouse goes on claim, they dig into their portfolio, and it costs them $125,000 for that year of care. Now, if you look at the whole portfolio, that really doesn't impact it that greatly. Probably not going to throw their plans off too terribly much, but that's just 1 year of care, and that's just one of those spouses needing care. What happens when we start to have multiple years of care? How quickly do they use up that whole portfolio that was earmarked for retirement? Again, they've been saving all these years, planning for their retirement, and if they're not planning for a long-term care event, that whole portfolio is exposed. So we feel that there's a better way, and that's the concept of life-based LTC. So same portfolio here, but now we're just going to reposition a portion of that portfolio and create a long-term care benefit that will protect the rest of the portfolio. So in terms of a death benefit, so giving them a life policy, giving them a death benefit in which they will tap into and use for their long-term care benefits should they have any long-term care needs. And then beyond that, to really put the catastrophic coverage in place, we have a rider which we call the continuation of benefits, or COB as you'll hear me refer to it, that can continue that income stream that is needed for those long-term care expenditures for up to a lifetime. And this gets extremely important when we're talking these spousal situations, because both have access to that death benefit and both would then continue that income stream, either doubling that death benefit or, again, the option of continuing that for a lifetime, something they could never outlive, truly giving the peace of mind that they need when protecting from a long-term care event. Very briefly, this is the solution suite that we have. 4 different types of solutions or ways to really fund the plan under our asset care solutions, whether it's just a single premium, straight cash, or 1035 from maybe a cash value life insurance, a single premium with return of premium. That's a good option too sometimes with clients. Every client situation is different, so it's vastly important to have a number of ways to create a plan, and so that's really what we're doing here. Annuity funded whole life. I call this our qualified money solution. Quite honestly, did you know that you could use qualified funds to create a long-term care plan? Well, OneAmerica has a great way of putting that same plan in place by using qualified dollars, a really nice packaged solution, which we'll be talking about here later. And then recurring premiums. Not everybody has the wherewithal to do a single premium drop-in. And they may need to do it over a recurring basis, either annual, 5-pay, 10-pay, 20-pay, a number of ways that we can create these types of plans. Moving over to our annuity care suite, if you will, we've got our original annuity care option. Again, these are funded cash, qualified money, 1035 exchanges for non-qualified annuities that are out there. Our Annuity Care 2 solution is really a straight leverage play, 2.5 times whatever amount that they give us, we're going to give them available for any long-term care expenditures. And then, we're on the longest bull run in history, and many people wanted to look to take advantage of planning for long-term care, but also participating in some of the market growth. And so we are the one and only indexed solution out there for a long-term care planning vessel, which we call our indexed annuity care. Now, here at OneAmerica, it's a blessing and a curse. And why do I say that? It's a blessing because we have so many ways to fund these types of solutions or tailor-make a plan specifically for your customer, your client. Each client is different. And so when we're looking at those scenarios, you need a lot of ways to really tailor design that plan that fits their need. Now, the flip side of that coin, or the other edge of that sword, is that we have so many ways to create these plans that sometimes it can become overwhelming, and just by the vast number of solutions or ways to create the plan, it almost becomes like, oh, I just can't focus on that. It's just too much. So I like to simplify this as much as possible. And that's exactly what I do here. If you can get this concept right here, you know our plans inside and out. It is a base policy. So if you start with that box there on the left-hand side, a base policy, whether it's a life insurance policy or an annuity, that's the base policy. That is what the clients are going to tap into first for their long-term care expenditures and creating that income for those expenditures. So the base policy is theirs. They use that for those expenses. Now, to put in a catastrophic backstop, if you will, we add that COB rider, continuation of benefits rider, and that can either double their death benefit or obviously put in that lifetime stream of income that they could never outlive. And so very simple, base policy and rider. If you get that concept, you've got OneAmerica down. So very briefly, I want to touch on a few things here in the specifications of asset care. This is our life-based chassis. We can go all the way up to age 80. So for those that maybe forgot the plan or are looking ways to bolster a plan that they already had that maybe isn't working as well, say in a traditional realm where they're getting a lot of rate increases that are happening out in the space today, this is a great way to maybe build on top of that. So we can go all the way from ages 35 up to age 80. That sets us apart in this planning realm. We can work either a single individual or a joint case. So married spouses, domestic partnerships, those sort of things. So joint is really what we call that. We have the ability to use a variety of funds, a variety of ways to create that solution in single premiums, 5, 10, 20 pays, paid age 95, which is actually a paid up option, but it's really our annual pay basis. But remember, all of these premiums are guaranteed. There's never going to be a rate increase. There's guaranteed cash value, guaranteed LTC benefits right up front. So they know going in when they put this plan of care in place, what they're going to get out of this policy. If you look to the rider side, basically everything is there as well. But really what I like to highlight is that lifetime unlimited benefit stream of income needed for those expenditures should they have a long-term care event. And it is something that they could never outlive with that lifetime unlimited option. And that is very unique to OneAmerica as well. We are the only ones that have that lifetime solution. Now, I have to talk about the acceleration piece because compliance makes me do so. I think this just adds some complexity and causes confusion, but I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. So we call it an acceleration. So 2, 3, or 4% acceleration of the death benefit to create their long-term care income stream that will be paid out of those that death benefit. So if you're adding a 2% acceleration, that will stretch that death benefit out over 50 months. So it's a longer time to use the death benefits, which will make a smaller long-term care benefit dollar. If you want to maximize that for couples, I would always recommend the 3% option, which shortens the death benefit time that they can use that fund, but it also increases the LTC benefits. So again, the two options for joint cases are the 2% or 3%. Now, we have a 4% option that is for single individuals only. And obviously, we shrink that down even further. So they use that death benefit over a 25-month period, obviously increasing the LTC benefits as well. But as I said, I always recommend adding a continuation of benefits rider. So when we add those, we're going to double on the 2% or in the 3% options. We'll double that, add another 50 months or 33 months. On the single options, we've got the ability to double, add another 25 months, to triple, add another 50 months, or in all of those solutions. And my strong recommendation is always that lifetime COB rider, which continues that income stream indefinitely. So just to give you a quick example of what I mean by this acceleration, if you will. So let's say that the premium dollars they gave us created a $200,000 death benefit. If we accelerate that on a joint case here by a 3% acceleration, we're going to spread that out over 33 months. What that does is gives us a $6,000 LTC benefit per person per month to pay out over those 33 months. Now, if it's a joint case and both happen to go on claim at the same time, they both still have that $6,000 per person per month, but that will shorten the amount of time that that death benefit would get used up. So if they're both on claim at the exact same time, very, very rarely happens. But if they do, they both have the same 6,000, but they will shorten that 33-month time span. But when you add that continuation of benefits rider, and certainly in this particular example here, the unlimited, once they exhaust that death benefit, use their death benefit first, the COB rider kicks in, and that will continue that same $6,000 per person per month for as long as they need that care, for as long as they would live. So good little example there of just how that base policy and the rider actually works. So advantages of asset-based, when we look to comparing that to traditional LTC, no matter what the future holds, live, die, or quit, they're going to get something for the premium dollars they put into these plans. All guaranteed premiums, cash value growth, cash surrender values, death benefits, again, long-term care benefits, all of those are guaranteed, never to change, locked in. They know from day one what they're going to get with these types of plans. We offer that joint coverage, that second to die policy structure. Advisors love these types of plans because it is based on that second to die structure when we're working with, spouse or joint policies. And then adding that lifetime protection option, especially again with that joint coverage, that joint second to die structure, that gives the ultimate peace of mind, not only for the clients, but for you as an advisor as well, knowing that they're never going to have to run out of benefits and start tapping into that same portfolio that you've been helping them build over the years. Why lifetime matters? I love this example. I'm a visual learner. Hopefully you are too. But this is a dot plot matrix here of 200 claims. So each one of those blue dots on here represents a claim. Now, many people fall into the planning for the average trap, is what I call that. Many of our competitors only allow you to plan kind of for the average amount of care. And the reason I call it a trap is because what happens when they exhaust those benefits? Again, they're right back into tapping into that portfolio that was earmarked for retirement, not for long-term care expenditures. Now, if I would show you the average here, I'm going to bring in a little average line here. 9 of those dots hit specifically on the average. Great way to plan that worked out. That plan by planning for the average did work out for them. Even the ones below the line, those also worked out by planning for the average. However, look at how many dots are above the line. Those are ones that went to tap back into that portfolio that they've been working so hard to save for over those years. And how many of you want your clients to be those individuals above the line? And can you guarantee that they're not going to have a needed income stream for long-term care expenditures that is going to last more than the average? Who knows what the future holds? That's why lifetime matters. And here is the best example of that. It doesn't matter what claim that they had here with the lifetime benefit structure, our COB that we have. Each and every one of those claims on this dot plot matrix had a lifetime income stream specifically for those long-term care expenditures. So hopefully that helps hit that reason home. Now, I like to compare just a little bit why our joint policies kind of outshine the competition. And I'm going to try and take this as apples to apples as I can. We're going to use our competitors only sell on an individual basis. We have that joint second to die policy structure, allowing both clients to share in that death benefit. So I'm going to try and take the same premium dollars that would be given to our competitors with us. So with our competitors, it's going to be a $75,000 a premium for each spouse. So that would give OneAmerica a joint pool of $150,000. So if you look at here, what is on the slide, pricing for long-term care over the years has become gender specific. When we're creating a $75,000 premium, it's going to be different in the amount of benefits for both the male and the female, the husband and the wife, the partners, whatever that case may be. Do you really want to put another objection, another bedroom discussion about when they're planning for long-term care in place? Like, okay, we're spending the same amount of money, but I'm not getting as much benefits as you are. I don't think that's really what you want to do. And that's another reason why I like our joint policy structure, because not only can we use the same amount of money, but we give them the exact same benefits because they're both pulling from that same death benefit. So what this particular chart shows here is that by pooling that money, that will allow us a bigger death benefit, subsequently allowing larger long-term care benefits, but also that it's an even amount versus an uneven amount with some of our competitors. So not only are we giving them more benefits, we're giving them the same benefits, but what really hits this home is, again, our competitors plan for the average need of care, 6 years, where we're giving them more benefits, the same benefits, but that is for a lifetime structure, something they can never outlive. So again, power of both a joint policy and that lifetime structure. Now, I talked about our annuity care suite as well. Again, this is an overview. I'm not going deep in the weeds here, but I wanted to give you some reasons why people look to our annuity care suite. Really 3 main reasons. First and foremost, when you are working with clients who either forgot to plan or is trying to build on something more than maybe they already had. So those clients that are 70 and older, up to age 85 with our annuity care suite. That is something that really differentiates us in this marketplace, going all the way up to age 85 for planning. But any of those clients that are 70 and above, I usually move them to our annuity suite because the leveraging is better at those ages. So older ages is one reason that we look to our annuity care suite. If your clients have non-qualified annuities out there with significant gains, say they're outside of their surrender contracts, but they've got these large gains that have been out there, well, we can tap into the Pension Protection Act, which says that if you 1035 an existing non-qualified annuity into a HIPAA-compliant Pension Protection Act, PPA compliant annuity, like all of our annuity care options are, our solutions are, that now you can pay or receive benefits income tax free even for the gain in those non-qualified annuities. So that's a big reason that we see our annuity care suite used as well, is getting rid of that taxable gain from any of those non-qualified annuities out there with significant gains. And then those clients that just have health concerns. And the reason I say this is we really basically have, for the base policy only, a simple 5 knockout question. If they can answer no to all those, we're going to do a script check, an MIB check, and look at that app, and we'll make that decision. That's it. So as long as they can answer those knockout questions, all no, pretty easy underwriting. So those clients that have health concerns is another reason we look to our annuity care suite. Now, the concept of annuity-based LTC, much the same as our life-based chassis. Again, very conservative or well-balanced portfolio. We're just going to peel out a portion of that, creating this annuity care. So we'll leverage that up. That cash value from that annuity is where they're going to draw those LTC benefits from, and then they can add that COB rider all the way for a lifetime income stream as well. Now, why do clients look to annuities? Many times it's for tax deferral, right? Cash value growth, death benefits, and those options to annuitize, okay? So if that's why they're looking to an annuity suite, well, our annuity care suite has all of those options as well, plus the ability to be a Pension Protection Act eligible annuity. Again, utilizing the Pension Protection Act to get rid of that taxable gain if used for long-term care expenditures. So just a quick example of that, you got a $50,000 cost basis, $50,000 worth of gain in this particular example. If they 1035 that over into one of our annuity care solutions, it all becomes income tax free if used for long-term care expenses. And we have that optional continuation of benefits rider that they can add. Those would also be income tax free as well. Once again, want to simplify this as much as possible. Annuity care is just a base policy. It's a single or a joint annuity and the COB rider that's available to add. So very quickly, the concept of annuity care here, you can see the ages 50 to up to age 85. We can even go to 87 in certain cases if it's just going to be a base plan only. So again, for those that failed to plan and you're looking to get something in place for those advanced age clients of yours, great way to look at this. Again, we can do both single or joint cases, and all of those deferred fixed annuity benefits are there for you as well. Then we can add the rider to that up to that lifetime income stream. Here's a quick Annuity Care 1 example. So if we had $125,000 non-qualified annuity, the client did not need it for income. She's a female, age 81. It had a minimum interest guaranteed interest rate of 3% on her existing annuity. But basically what we did is we 1035 that over into our Annuity Care 1 option. Excuse me, that would pay out for a term of 36 months. And then we also use that same $125,000 to fund the COB portion. So you can see that $102,500 went to the base contract, $22,500 went to the COB rider that would continue those LTC benefits for life. So that provided her with over $36,000 per year in tax-free benefits that she could not outlive. So I talked about Annuity Care 2 earlier on in this presentation, and I just said that it was a straight leverage play. Now, our continuation of benefits rider is always included on our Annuity Care 2 solution. So there will always be that cognitive interview piece with this solution as well. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But a little bit different structure here. It's either a 24-month payout for singles or a 30-month payout if you've got a joint particular situation. But this is straight leverage play. It is just 2.5 times whatever amount they want to give us in terms of the annuity into our PPA eligible annuity. And then we're going to leverage that by 2.5 times. That's the amount that they will have available for them. Now, this one quick difference that I want to point out here, ages are from 40 to age 80. So we'll only go up to age 80 on our Annuity Care 2 solution. So I mentioned this quickly, but I'm going to touch on it once again, where it fits and who to look for. Asset Care, our life-based solution, those needing LTC protection, those doing those retirement plans with you. If it's a joint case, if they've had prior experience with family or other friends that they're aware of, good reason to look to our solutions. Those that feel that they can self-fund, even the uber wealthy that can self-fund, understand the leveraging that is happening here, and why not shift the risk to the insurance company versus taking all that risk myself. Taxation for businesses. I didn't get into that, and I don't have time to today, but understand that when you're talking with your business owner clients, we've got ways of providing some tax savings benefits to that business by writing that through the business. So again, if you have any more questions about that, please reach out to Justin or your sales director there at IAMS, and we can discuss that any further. We can either get on a call together, or again, they know the benefits that can be afforded to those business owner clients out there. On Annuity Care Suite, the age concern, health concerns, and that taxation play by utilizing the Pension Protection Act. So now what? I always say it starts with a conversation. You know the solutions that we have, but it all starts with a conversation. And really two main questions. And the best thing that we can do is ask these questions and just wait for the answers. It's the hardest thing to do, but that's the best thing that we can do. Mr. and Mrs. Client, you may never need care, but if you did, how would that affect your family? And I'm not going to go into each one of these very deeply, but there's some real good reasons why they need to look at this, and you'll look for these answers in their answer. Once you ask this question and wait for the answers, is it going to affect your spouse by them having to care for you? Is it going to affect your children, taking them out of their plans, maybe growing their own retirement portfolios, taking them out of the workforce? How will it affect the family dynamics? Caregiving is not equal among family members, and that creates a lot of stress and can create some really damaging results within a once close-knit family. And those unnecessary losses, all these things are buying signals to look for when your clients answer that question. The second question is, if they did need care, how would they pay for it? Many consumers out there still mistakenly believe that the government is going to take care of them, and that is just not the case. Now, Medicaid is there if they spend through all their assets, or if they're not really don't have the means for this, and that's really what it was created for, those who didn't have the means. We're working with our clients to build wealth and to protect that wealth and to create those legacy plans. Our clients that are looking to go on Medicaid are that's not our client. Long-term care insurance would be another way to do it. Self-funding, there's risk to that as well. Obviously, what are the consequences in taxation? A down market, hard dollar assets, how are they going to sell those, maybe in a down market as well? I'd like to quickly touch on this. We underwrite to approve. So only 50% of our asset care cases and 100% of our annuity care cases require an APS or a paramed exam. So just know that, I said 100% require. 100% do not require on the Annuity Care Suite. But here's some options that you may run into health issues-wise with your clients. Our height weight guidelines, I love to see this as well, because many times you may be looking at the combined weight of your clients, and they'll fit into this chart in just the one person. So we've got a very liberal height weight chart there as well. I'm going to skip over this slide in just in the interest of time, because I did want to quickly mention some marketing tools and links that I wanted to give you. If you are not currently appointed with us, there is a way that you can quote these solutions by yourself. Just go to www.assetbasedltc.com. If you are licensed, I strongly recommend that you go to ols.oneamerica.com. You're going to get all of your information that you need on any cases at that site. But we have a great, what we call OneAmerica marketing store, or OMS, because the insurance industry needs another acronym. But a lot of great ways that we can really help you promote yourself in long-term care planning with your clients, or just create ways to stay in front of your clients with, pre-printed materials, emails. We've even got social media streams that are really quick, easy plug and play. Really promoting yourself as more of the expert out there. And again, you don't have to be the expert. IMS is there as your backstop. Your sales directors that you work with are well versed in any of our solutions.
From email templates and client event.
So a couple of things that I just wanted to show here are just some great ways that we can help you through our OneAmerica marketing store. The last thing that I really wanted to leave you with, because I know IMS does such a great job of helping producers maybe with their websites if they want to bolster that and that sort of thing. We've got a website, a consumer approved website, experiencecaresolutions.com, which can really help plant the seeds when you're doing any long-term care planning with your clients. So if you just want them to get some great information, you can just point them to this particular website. They will walk them through some really good information steps, and they'll come to the last step, and are they ready to take the next step? Well, it will suggest that they just contact the person that reached out to them or provided them this information. But to take this a step further, and I've worked with IMS, with a number of producers with IMS, to create a version specifically for them. So it wouldn't have my contact information. Obviously, it would have your contact information on there, but it would be a custom site for you that when they come to the last step, it just reminds them exactly who to contact. And again, working with a number of producers with IMS, they've set this particular solution in when helping them build their solutions as well, or their websites as well. So with that, I do want to thank you very much for your valuable time. Justin, I'm not sure if we've got any questions that we can answer, if we've got time for that, but I figured I would just open that up.
Well, I appreciate that. We do have time, and we've got a question. Brent, I'll let you answer this one here. Question from Leon here is, the product available in Washington State, and if so, does it meet the requirements to waive the newly imposed tax? If you want to
great.
That.
Yep, great. Yeah, I sure will. So great question, Leon. I assume that you're either working or living in, or both, in Washington State. Recently, we have unfortunately pulled out of that marketplace. We were just hammered with business because our solutions do qualify for the state of Washington, but we had to remove ourselves from the marketplace like many of the other carriers did, largely due to the onslaught of business that happened and the time frames that they had to have a plan in place by. So in order to get us and allow us the time to be able to get those plans in the client's hands, that they could then work with the states to say, hey, I'm opting out of the tax here, we had to shut off business in Washington. So I apologize, we're no longer in Washington. We will start up again, though, on November 1st, but that will not help the current tax situation that I think probably this question came from.
Yeah, and many carriers falling into that same boat here on the sales team, Brent, as you and I have discussed. If anybody has any questions, or if you're operating with clients in that state, and Leon will reach out to you as well. Give us a call because most carriers are running into that. We can have an open conversation about it and see what we can do. And let's see if I've got any other questions here. And if you do, we're going to be looping back around with you here on the sales team at IAMS. Feel free to give us a call if you have questions. I am going to do our first poll question here, which will help many of us with just that possibly. And Brent, appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and post this first polling question here. I'm going to launch it. Would you like to see more information on the current topic? So would you like to see more information on the current topic is the question here. And I'll give everybody a little bit here to vote. We are going to be also sending out and I appreciate you mentioning the marketing suite as well, Brent, a care kit when we speak with you here for those that do want information. One of the items I like best, Brent, on your website is the 3-leg stool conversation when it comes to wealth, protection and wealth management. Adds long-term care right in there, and we'll include that as well.
Yeah, great piece.
Yeah, definitely. Well, appreciate that. So we've got the closing the poll on that one here, and we are going to go to the second one. Would you like to contract with or get appointed with OneAmerica? Again, giving you access to the website and the customized marketing where you can, I believe you can upload your picture and your contact information too, right, Brent? And have some of that stuff.
That is correct.
Excellent.
That is correct.
I think the videos too are available for websites as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That is also correct, yes.
Very cool. Yeah. Increase the viewership. Long-term care is a topic, regardless whether you do asset care or the product. It is a concern, and it captures attention with people with assets if they understand what Brent was talking about as well. Appreciate that. We're going to close that topic here for those. We'll be looping back around with you, and we will get those licensing links out to you as we call. So if you have a busy day and don't have a chance to pick up our call, Tony, myself, Jess Riley will be leaving a message with you to take a look at your email box so you can get appointed, and then we'll loop back around with you and get you in the OneAmerica system as well. And our third and final polling question, and this one's important: do you need any of you that currently went through this webinar and thought to yourself, well, I've got a couple people that are in the same boat. I'd like to see a proposal, a case designer, talk about a case. Particularly, I've got some questions for you, Brent, actually. Selfishly, I'm going to call you about those tax benefits through business owners. But if you've got a case, let us know, and we'll be happy to speak with you and get something run, get everything set up, and walk through a real-life example with you. So appreciate it. Looks like people are responding there. And to my not surprise, Brent, we've got a lot of individuals that are doing that. I mean, everybody's got a client, a concern. Those of us that have been through caring for an individual, I did want to mention something that's not always mentioned, but with OneAmerica, currently I'm going through a situation with my family, with my father, and one of the challenges, no matter how much you prepare, is always, it happens, and you've got 8,000 decisions to make. The family's talking. You've got who's going to be the caregiver, your giver. It helps to have a partner like OneAmerica. You guys have one of the best on-claim paths, if you will, which we can send that to you. When someone goes on claim, there's a phone number they contact. If I'm not mistaken, they get an individual case manager, if you will, a care coordinator, Brent. Is that correct?
Yeah, we call it our claims concierge. So it's just a single point phone number to contact us when the claims, really starts with that particular family. But we're going to assign one particular case concierge to that case, so that every time that same individual calls in, or another family member, or whatever the case may be, that they don't always have to re-explain the whole situation, that they're going to talk to that one specific point person throughout the life of that claim. And we get so much good feedback from individuals when the rubber meets the road, when they're on claim, about our claims concierge service. It's a very tumultuous time when somebody's family member goes on claim, and that claim concierge that really helps them get all the forms needed, explains benefits, exactly what's going to be available, all that to them and be that same point person to always work with or talk to through that claim process. It really builds that credibility and really a good vibe within those particular clients or families that are really helping their loved one through that claim process.
Yeah, and that mirrors what I'm hearing. On the front end, a couple of the opportunities that we presented recently that caught the attention of the proposed. And there, you guys have OneAmerica has some really, in my opinion, really well designed, simple to understand marketing concepts, or one pagers, if you will. One of which goes through this concept. So we'll get that out to you as well. Well, Brent, I, as always, appreciate your time. Those who attended here as well, appreciate your time. Those that may have not had a chance to stay for the whole one, or if you have a referral that would like to see this, we are going to be putting this up on our YouTube site probably by day's end, if not sooner. If you have any questions for Brent or myself about the presentation, about the nature of long-term care, about IAMS, about building your brand, about making sure the individuals around you know that you're raising your hand saying, long-term care concerns, I can help you, I've got you. Give us a call, 800-255-5055. Speak with your primary contact here or anybody. Just reference the long-term care webinar or ask for myself if you work with Tony or Jess, and we will help get you started here. This is a year I see a lot of business coming towards these products, particularly in the area of long-term care, and many of us, it may be a surprising influx at the end of the day. So we'll see where the nature of the world goes, but we're definitely doing it here. Thanks, Brent, again. We'll be talking with all you guys soon, and have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye now.